Who are you with?
I'm with Fox 7.
Fox 7?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Carlos.
Carlos, what do you think of this?
I think it's, they were pushing me, and they say that I hit an officer. I didn't hit an officer. They were pushing.
I don't care if you're a cameraman. Get out of the freaking way, or else, well, what's the old phrase? F around and find out. Now listen, over the last several days, we've been showing you images of the nightmare at Columbia University. Have you noticed that this sort of thing seems to happen every 4 years, right? Every 4 years, when we have a leap year, we have, well, let's see, this year it's the Free Palestine movement, where people encamp themselves on college campuses in tents, screaming bloody murder and creating a scene that the media covers and somehow, blames the Republican Party, even though the Republican Party has absolutely no power right now. And then 4 years ago, it was Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, ongoing protests, Antifa, arson, riots, uprisings. Remember? 4 years before that, good old Occupy Wall Street. Remember Occupy Wall Street? Same thing, except instead of the downtown city areas like Black Lives Matter, or instead of college campuses like this year, it was down in the financial districts of major cities. And it was always mean, bad Republicans, great, wonderful, liberal, Marxist Democrats. Power to the people, baby. And it's always funded well. They always have pre-printed signs that look really professionally made. And where did they get the money for all those expensive tents? All the same kind of tent. Have you noticed that? That doesn't seem like an accident, does it? Why? Why every 4 years? Why every leap year does this happen? It must be connected to the Summer Olympics. That's the only thing that I can think of that happens in those years, right? 2024, 2020, 2016, 2012. It's the Olympics. It's got to be. Oh, maybe it's the presidential election. Maybe it's very coordinated. Maybe it's very planned. Maybe this is all a scheme. Well, we've shown you what happens at Columbia University when the governor of New York decides not to do anything about enforcing law and protecting innocent civilians. When the mayor of New York instructs law enforcement, the NYPD, remember how they always say, we love our first responders, we stand by the cops, we love our cops, we stand by the cops, and then they don't let the cops do their job. And the mayor of New York and the governor of New York said, hands off the protesters, stay out of there, don't clear them out, let this go. And the punishment goes to the innocent people, the innocent professors, the innocent students. Every single student at Columbia University now is basically going to University of Phoenix. It's an online college for a good 70, 80, 90,000 a year, of course. Well, that's what happens in the state of New York. Now, somebody observed that it appears that all of these major college uprisings seem to be happening in blue states, states that are managed, run, and controlled by Democrats. Why don't these things happen in red states? Well, we have an answer to that hypothetical question because they tried to do this at the University of Texas in Austin. Hook 'em horns, right? Actually, I'm married to a Sooner, so sorry, Texas, got to do this. Meredith would kill me. Boomer, boomer. In Texas, in Austin, probably the most liberal city in the state of Texas, they tried to have their own campus protest. And well, you don't mess with Texas, I've heard. Here comes the riot police. Yeah, to use the vernacular of the dirtbag college student protesters, Governor Abbott don't play that shit. Okay. He sent the riot police in and cleared out that campus before this even could get started. But you'll notice, did you notice around them there were a ton of media? There were as many media people there as there were protesters with still cameras, with video cameras. They were surrounding the cops. Well, just a word of advice to any of my friends out there who are journalists or citizen journalists who want to video a live event like this. You know, I've got a lot of friends who do that, like our pal Julio Rosas, formerly of Town Hall. He's made a name for himself going to these hotspots and getting video. You don't get in the way of the cops when they're doing their job because they don't play that shit either. Watch what happens from a different angle when the media got in the way of the police doing their constitutional duty. And by the way, see this guy in the foreground with the blue backpack? Keep an eye on that guy.
Oh! Holy shit! Holy shit! Move back, 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 move back.
But we're media. Don't you know who we are? We're media. You can't do that to us. You know, listen, Texas has pretty cool weather. They got pretty good barbecue. They got no state taxes. They got a lot of beachfront property there on the Gulf. They got good people. I've met a lot of them. I think a lot of people over the last several years have considered moving to the state of Texas. And listen, there's a lot of good places to move. Texas could be one of the better options. But if you tell me that the police will not hesitate to grab a member of the media by the back and throw them to the ground, jump on them and arrest them, I think you've sealed the deal. I mean, I look at that. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but don't get in the way of the cops, dude. Later, as they were taking him away, well, I'll let you see what happened.
Who are you with?
I'm with Fox 7.
Fox 7?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Carlos.
Carlos, what do you think of this?
I think it's they were pushing me, and they say that I hit an officer. I didn't hit an officer. They were pushing. You know what I mean? They were pushing me.
I'm a legal observer. What's your name and date of birth? We're gonna send attorneys to you.
Has this ever happened?
No, it's never happened to me. You know what I mean? I was just covering things.
Did you tell them you were the press?
Yeah, I told them that I was the press. This one says I was hitting an officer. I was not hitting nobody. You know?
Okay, and there's something
And he's going away. He's a cameraman for the local Fox affiliate there, which is, and by the way, local Fox affiliates are not the same as Fox News National, just so you know, or cable. This will be adjudicated, whether he hit a cop or whether he pushed into a cop or shoved a cop while he was trying to get his shot or impeded the police from doing their lawful duty. You get in the way of the cops, especially in a riot situation, in a protest. When the cops are coming in with helmets and billy clubs and shields and they're trying to clear an area, I don't care if you're a cameraman. Get out of the freaking way, or else, well, what's the old phrase? F around and find out. Well, sorry, man, you found out. That would never happen in Manhattan. Exactly. And that's why more people are moving to Texas than Manhattan. Meanwhile, back in New York, oh, you're going to love this. Apparently, downtown at NYU. So Columbia is up at like 190th Street or something. Like I said, all the way up, north of Harlem, way uptown in Manhattan. NYU is all the way downtown. I mean, not down by Wall Street and Battery, but it's like West 4th Street, Washington Square Park. Okay. And apparently things got sort of hot with a march and protest at NYU yesterday. And so a bunch of students all said, we got to go to NYU, man, and we got to be a part of the scene. So we got a beautiful man on the street interview. Ah, yikes. I wasn't ready for that. You got to prepare me. Seriously, what's with the nose ring? Why would you go out of your way to look like cattle? I've never understood that. Listen, certain piercings can be alluring and attractive. That who finds that attractive, other than a rancher? Or anyway, I'm sorry. I know you're somebody's daughter, but you asked for it. Watch this. A simple question: what are you protesting down here?
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU is doing.
Is there something that NYU is doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're. Do you know what NYU is doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free.
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support, so I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
I mean, honestly, you can't script it better than this. Especially the one wearing the mask. Do you know what they're doing to Israel at NYU? I don't know. I wish I was more educated. They're the best and brightest. They're the best and brightest. They are going to two of the most expensive colleges in America. I wish I was more educated. Oh, honey, we wish you were more educated too. Trust me. We got to watch this again.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU is doing.
Is there something that NYU is doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're. Do you know what NYU is doing? About what?
About
Israel.
what?
Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free.
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support, so I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
Oh, mom and dad are so proud of you, dear. I promise. And they're so happy with the money they're spending. Not just for your tuition, but let's not forget room and board in Manhattan. And I assure you, mom and dad are not letting her take the subway, not with the filth and the crime going on there. So she's probably Ubering wherever she wants to go. It's okay. Mommy and daddy will pick it up. Ladies and gentlemen, in 10 years, this is your next congresswoman from Brooklyn. Stranger things have happened. I don't know what NYU's doing. I was just told something's going on. I'm here. I'm going to protest. I'm down with the cause, man. Last night, Senator Josh Hawley on Fox News sort of summed it up.
Are they supposed to be the best and brightest? Isn't it supposed to be hard to get into an Ivy League institution? Could they really be that ignorant? Do they not realize that in countries that take on Sharia law, radicalized countries like Iran, for example, if you're gay or lesbian, they'll murder you. If you're a woman and you're not fully covered, they'll beat the hell out of you, among the many other restrictions and civil rights violations. Whatever happened to the woke left in this country? Whatever happened to the belief in women's rights and gay rights and all the things they said they believe in? Are they just willing to bifurcate their brains and ignore that which they said that they were so passionate about?
Totally, 100%. That's 100% what they're willing to do, Sean. And you can just see, I mean, listen, these are the people who are standing around wearing N95 masks outdoors, doing interpretive dance and calling for jihad. I mean, these are insane people. As I said, I mean, they're spending way too much time on TikTok and social media. Their brains are rotted, and their brains have been rotted by the university system, Sean. These universities are cash machines. They are sitting on giant endowments. They're not really educational facilities. They're giant private equity funds who have taken your money, taxpayer money, and now are using it to pump out this pro-Hamas propaganda. It's a disgrace to this country. These students are a disgrace. And all of this needs to end.
Well, he's not wrong. Good job, Senator Josh Hawley. Meanwhile, from the sublime to the ridiculous, let's go over to the other side of the Capitol building, into the House of Representatives, where their shining light, Ilhan Omar, had much to say about the protests and those of us who oppose them.
They don't want their tax dollars to be complacent. And for the member who said, like, don't waste your parents' money, they don't want their parents' money to go in supporting a genocide that they oppose. And so I do believe that history is going to be on their side. And these members who think this is a political opportunity to turn the world against these people who are standing for a morally just right cause are going to be looked at and mocked in history. They don't want their tax dollars to be complacent.
There you go. You're on the wrong side of history, my friend. So says Ilhan Omar, a refugee from Somalia whose war-torn nation left her starving and destitute. She came here to America, where she was sheltered, protected, lifted up, elevated, educated, and now she's made it to the halls of the House of Representatives so she can go on television and tell you what a lousy country you have. I think I summed it up properly. The Speaker of the House of Representatives did go to Columbia yesterday, and he had a few words of leadership and moral clarity that we certainly aren't getting from the President of the United States, with his incoherent mumblings of equivocation and rationalization. No, Speaker Johnson, flanked by Elise Stefanik and the amazing Congresswoman Virginia Fox there in blue to his right, he had this to say.
We are standing here right now on the steps of the Low Library. In this very building right behind us, Columbia University once awarded Winston Churchill an honorary degree, and it was Churchill who said, "It is manifestly right that Jews should have a national home where they may be reunited." We believe in that principle. And today I'm here to proclaim to all those who gnash their teeth and demand to wipe the state of Israel off the map and attack our innocent Jewish students this simple truth: neither Israel nor these Jewish students on this campus will ever stand alone.
Let's end this segment on that positive beat. It's not been a good week for Speaker Johnson, and it's good to see him sort of get on the right side of this one and be clear and forthright and communicate way better than anyone else out of Washington, D.C. on this issue. That's why he's got the gavel. More of that, please. Less of the other stuff.